had nothing to do with the two of you meeting. I was against it right from the start. It was all Marilyn's doing. So Danny, you could blame her. Lois, you could blame her.
I have big shoulders, you can blame me, it's okay. I had set your mother up on many blind dates, and Danny was going to be one of these blind dates. And after the last blind date that I had set her up on, she didn't even want to go. But I said,
little did she know.
But she decided to go, and the rest is history.
Well, we thought they were a nice couple. And your father is a very warm guy, and he always was like that. And he exudes warmth, and he's friendly. And that was our first impression of him.
My first impression is that she was very sweet, and I don't think Lois, of all the people that we know from the bungalow, has ever said anything nasty or unkind about anyone.
So many pictures. Don't forget, Daniel, I want a picture of you, Farrell, and her
She don't know that
mommy.
she's talking into the camera.
What? Is that thing?
Yeah, they see the red light going? That's exactly what.
Very good color, look. You see? That's this.
That's the color of your blouse.
Oh, this is now. This is right now. Oh my goodness, look what I look like. Oh, with a house dress, my goodness.
What about this?
I told him to film while you were here.
Is
this on film now? Yes. I don't believe it.
Hey, your lips are moving.
My goodness, look what I look like. Take me off! Take me off! No, you have to stay. Take me off. I don't believe it.
You know?
Oh my goodness. I don't recognize myself even. So who took my fork again? You. Always have two forks. Always. Always. Take it.
Dear Lois and Danny, we were very excited when we received the email from your children asking us to participate in this lovely tribute and celebration of your 30th wedding anniversary. Danny, it's hard to believe we have been friends for over 40 years. We have seen the highs and lows during that period. Through the high school years, your stint in the Marine Corps, our marriages, our children, good jobs, bad jobs, pinochle, and even the loss of several of our loved ones. It has been a long time and never a harsh word among us. Though we may not speak or see each other as often as we should, we all know that the warm feelings are always there. Lois, who could have completed the circle better than you? A lifelong friend of our sister-in-law Marilyn becomes the wife of our dear friend Danny. The summers together at Spiro's, the mahjong games, the gin games, watching our kids grow up to become fine young adults, and of course our children's marriages. We are sure grandchildren for you and Danny will be a blessing soon to follow. It has been a pretty wonderful 30 years. Lois and Danny, we wish you a hearty mazel tov on this, your 30th wedding anniversary, and wish you many more years of health and happiness together. We look forward to sharing many more simchas with you. With love, Lori and Gary.
Because really Lois and Dan are the match made in heaven.
I think they balance each other, as I see it. I think, the strengths of one, the other may not have, and vice versa. So I see them as, very well matched and balancing each other. And I also think that they've learned to be patient with each other. And certainly, to me, they seem to be in love. I'll see how they kiss occasionally after an aliyah, or to me, there's genuine affection there.
Because you two obviously have rekindled the romance, you're on the right path.
But there's an interesting kind of connection that they always have, and him kind of visiting and having a seat and then going off. And so I always feel their connectedness there, even though they're physically not sitting together.
Because they are there for each other at the times that they really need each other, and they give each other the space to be who they are and have the room to grow individually and still have common ground. And they have 3 kids that keep them rooted and grounded as well.
Definitely, they're both people, and they both need to have not only other people around them, but I think their relationship with each other is just so special.
There's a special sort of level of affection, that sort of demonstrates itself in a quiet way.
You can see the caring and how they work well as a team.
And the family just keeps it underlined with true devotion.
And a sense of humor. Michael makes me laugh all the time.
I don't know what made them fall in love in the first place, but I know what the secret is now, and how they're such a great couple.
And what's that?
Drum roll.
It's Lois.
Oh, it's Lois.
Now it's time for this commercial break. Brought to you by Urine.
You know, I tell you, I know your parents well, maybe 5 or 6 years, and to me, they've always stayed the same. They're ageless. I don't see them changing.
I'm sure they like to hear that.
And what I appreciate the most for them is that, you know, they're not only are they welcoming and warm, but they just treat us like anybody else in the shul, and that's very important to me. And I very much appreciate that.
I think they're both more relaxed.
Oh, yeah? Oh, well, yeah, probably, because they're not running all over, schlepping around. You know.
Say that Daniel is calmer.
Yeah, they're more mellow.
I say Lois is more accepting.
They've become, yeah, I think that both of them have become more patient.
Yes.
Definitely see that.
That's the
And
word.
More affectionate.
Yes.
They've gone grayer.
And we've all put on a couple of pounds.
Except your mother, she looks great.
But otherwise, I don't really think they've changed very much. They're both very warm people and dear friends.
Interesting. Because I don't think they've changed over 30 years. I don't think that's good or bad. You know, I think they have the same values they had at that time.
You know, they just seem so more relaxed. But part of that just comes with the fact that we can relax a little bit now, you know. It's a different situation. So it's not so much a change of who they are, because that's remained pretty much the same, but I think a change in life circumstances that allows you to kind of step back and enjoy each other a little bit more and enjoy what you have a little bit more.
We, Julie and I and the family, recognize that Uncle Daniel and Aunt Lois and the family have made every effort to be a part of every milestone.
For sure.
Through hard times, through easy times, have always been there, and you know that's something has always been consistent and hasn't changed. As far as things that have changed, I think that Uncle Daniel and Aunt Lois have become a little bit more relaxed.
Danny's more mature. Lois dresses a lot better.
It's true.
It's true.
When I first met them, there was more bickering, I would say. Of course, you guys were all still in the house, which would, you know, do that to anybody. But I definitely seen their relationship evolve in the time that I've known them, and it feels like, obviously outside, it feels like they're stronger than they ever were, and in a really, really good place.
Well, I think your father has remained basically the same. He was always assertive, you know what I mean? And I think your mother has become more assertive. At first she was more retiring and just sort of doing what Danny wanted. But then later on, I think she came out more.
She's more confident in expressing what she wants and what she thinks.
I don't want to be in this video at all. I'm sitting out here watching, just like the Sharmas and they're like the others. I do not.
Should I say welcome?
I'm going to erase this, Danny. I don't want to be in this video.
You say it? Oh, no.
Lois and Dan, I've been struggling for weeks trying to figure out what to say to you in honor of your 30th anniversary. There is a great deal I could say about each of you as individuals, since you do so much to enrich the lives of your friends and family, as well as being such a significant force behind what makes the FJCC the extraordinary place that it is. But on this special anniversary, it seems more appropriate to focus on your life as a couple. At a time when no one seems to do anything for 30 years, especially being married, it is heartwarming to celebrate your 30 years of marriage. It is so easy to get lost in the details of our lives. It is clear that, in your marriage and your family life, you put those details in perspective so that you remember where it is you want to go. Lois and Dan, in and through your 30-year marriage, your love, hard work, and dedication have created a beautiful family with admirable values. It is those things that truly and immutably are important. I am sure I do not speak only for myself when I say that it has been a privilege to be a witness to your loving marriage and to the life you have created together. Mazel tov on your 30th anniversary. I wish you a great deal many more. With love and good wishes to you and your family, Leslie.
Whoa!
So they're the only couple I know that actually sleep on a waterbed. And they've slept on a waterbed for as long as I know them. I don't know anybody else who sleeps on a waterbed.
Lisa was obsessed with when she was about to give birth to Fallon, of calling her. There's video. There's a video of that your parents own. That,
I've seen it.
Of
It's the first. It's the first video.
and Lois picking up or something, and be like, "No, I haven't had it yet." Like, oh, Lisa.
She had the choice to not answer the phone.
Yes.
But
then,
yeah, but it was out of love, and it was I was very excited, Fallon, for you to be born. So that was another big memory after the engagement and the baby.
You're gonna get a sister or a brother?
A brother.
Do you want a brother?
A brother.
She ordered one. What?
A brother.
And are you gonna
Brother.
Remember, Grandpa Lou was there, and we're having the Seder, and Uncle Daniel was doing something from the Haggadah, and Grandpa Lou interjected something, and Daniel just whipped around and turned to him and said, "This is my Seder!"
I have to say, Lois and I have a lot of funny stories that will probably go with us to the grave. Artificial flowers in the kitchen, Lois. Bread in the freezer. All right, she knows what I'm talking about.
As a late teenager, when I was got my first license, and I would come in and spend a couple nights, and that was always fun because I was played with the kids and everything. But there was always that fun. I'd say there was a guaranteed 9 hours of constant yelling back and forth between Dan and Lois, Dan and Fallon, Lois and Fallon, Fallon and Dan, and never Doug and Mitchell.
Precious, for all the trouble that you've had with Precious, your mother, I think she's
it's her fourth child.
It's her